Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. I boosted the sound on the mic a little bit, so I hope it's okay. I hope it doesn't boost the the sounds I don't want in the room, but we'll see how this goes. Let me know if it sounds distorted or you're getting any kind of weird extra noise on there. It's not up very much. But yes, and of course, trying to stay to a new schedule didn't work because there were some cases at my daughter's school in her grade level. So she's only got a few more weeks of school left, and she's like, and I'm not gonna, because they didn't shut the class down, and they're not testing, or as far as we know, like the teachers and everything, and the homeroom teacher just had it that shall be unnamed. So yeah, my daughter was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break because she's just got, basically she's in this weird limbo where she's just got a graduation project left, and no, she's not a high school student. This is 6th grade we're talking about. So yeah, she's just got a project to work on and not really any classes or testing or anything left. So she's just gonna work from home, even though the school is not making that possible. So yeah, enough complaining about parenting, but that's why I'm late, because back to kind of the normal schedule, or the previous schedule. I can't do anything earlier because I'm not doing anything earlier right now. But hope everyone is doing well, and we are back again for another week. So I think everything is going okay. Yeah, I've got this weird foldable green screen now that I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way. Because having the weird shower curtain behind me all the time wasn't always good when I was trying to use the desk behind me and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how any of this is working, and I got to get a camera set up over that desk anyhow if I want to do any painting on stream, but who knows. Too much to figure out. I just finally got this kind of working, so I don't want to push it too hard. So I hope everyone is doing well. All right. So yeah, my combined chat is not working. Great. Hey Matt, how's it going? I saw you there at the beginning of the chat. Oh yeah, and speaking of Matt, did you see the Facebook page? I think the Reddit as well. The Twilight 2000 people are getting excited because the U.S. deployed troops to Poland. I think Poland and Germany, but Poland, and that's a big part of the World War III that never was, but maybe will be. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. They got really excited. They're like, "Oh, oh, it's happening." So we'll see. I thought we just got out of one of those proxy wars. Yeah, well, who knows? We gotta look tough. Gotta look tough to those Russians, because they're the most evil thing in the world right now. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just funny. It's very comforting though. Russia has to be the bad guy, because that's how it was in every Rambo movie and everything I remember from the 80s. So let's do that again. Yeah, so I hope this is, I don't know. It's very it's very stupid, and the timing is I hope there aren't soldiers that are going to be putting their lives on the line for midterm elections, so that America looks like, we can't, we can't change boats midstream because now we're involved in a war in Eastern Europe. So we'll see. Yeah, very familiar. That was interesting. I've seen some reviews of the new Twilight 2000, the 4th edition Twilight 2000, by younger people, and younger people meaning like 30s, and they don't know like Cold War, like assured mutual destruction. Like they don't have that in their heads, and didn't go to bed with that fear. And so if they were, especially if they were born in the 80s, by the time they even could pay attention to the news, the Soviet Union was a memory. And so they're either talking about the game as, yeah, I just don't see it. I mean, what's Russia, whatever. I don't see the threat. They don't have any memory, or they don't have, they could go back. I'm sure on YouTube we have Khrushchev saying, we will bury you, and all those wonderful memories of the Cold War. But they don't see it as intimidating, like, I just don't get it. And then other reviews that I saw were people that were saying, I don't know if I can play this game. It's just, what if this actually happens? And I was like having fun with my friends, like acting this out, and this is just too real and too, yeah. So I don't know. Were we that much tougher in the 80s that, it's, I don't know. It's very strange. I don't understand people being like, I can't have fun with this game because the reality of it is just too terrifying. It's like, yeah, it's not. Well, and I think in a way, the reason that it was made is to kind of help allay some of that anxiety, help you to, kind of process some of that. That's why you would make a game like that. And people now just like don't see, just, I don't want to think about it. So those two kind of strange opinions. And yeah, so that definitely means that, people that could enjoy, what they've done with this would be, you just have to have a little bit of that Cold War experience, and then also not be that was another, I think it was This War of Mine, that game where you're stuck in Eastern Europe, in like an abandoned like apartment building, like scavenging, and like raiders come, kind of post-apocalyptic but very real, very, very based in real. We played that a few times, and I got from a couple of players a couple of reactions like, this game is too much of a downer, I can't do this. Like, it's weird not being able to separate either the fantasy of it or just that idea is too like near. They feel like that, something like that is possible, so they can't enjoy the fantasy of it. But I was really surprised by that reaction of just like, oh, that game is too much of a downer. But I guess that's why they have, fantasy, elves and dwarves and things, is that that's easier to process. But I'm surprised by those, reactions. Yeah. No, I'm definitely like, not a war hawk or like, yeah, good, get America in there. Yeah, I'm definitely, and I think that's why I like over the top things like 40K and stuff, because it's ridiculous. It's a parody of, how violent, they're in, our future, the future of humanity in, millennia from now is only war. We will only be fighting until the very end. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in the US that would love to profit from eternal war. But, yeah, it's it's definitely one of those things. Like, I guess when it does get too close to reality, and like, and the thing they did with that game, because it's based on a PC game, the thing they did with that game is they had real photos. Like the characters were just based on maybe people in the studio or whatever. They just took black and white photos of people, so it was real photos of people for the characters in the game. So it made it personalized it a little bit. I'm talking about This War of Mine. So for This War of Mine, yeah, it had a little bit of a level of realism and like cold and starvation and stuff, but not really that much different from FTL or one of those a kind of like rogue-like survival game where you're surviving in the cold harshness of space or whatever. So it's a funny thing, but the reviews were very surprising for me. I didn't expect that. I expected people to kind of be only comparing it to the past and not like saying why the context of this they couldn't understand. But I guess that's true of a lot of things. Yeah, it's a funny reaction. Both the I don't get it. Like, what's the big deal about Russia? All right, I guess I should be drawing something, right? Right. That's how this works. I don't have any good chat options now. This really sucks. They changed the they changed the interface, so they don't embed it in the. You can't just have it embedded in a page that you're not streaming. Just like a live page. So they want you to download their app, and it's really disgusting when they are like trying to force a download to your PC. It's like, yeah, you guys can barely keep a restreaming service running. I'm not sure cybersecurity is your forte and internet web code. All right, but I'll try from here. Yeah, luckily, I think she has to be retired now. But my stepmom is a reservist, an Air Force reservist, a nurse, and she was deployed for first Desert Storm in Germany. So that wasn't a huge extended anything, but I'm glad she's aged out of that, because I'd hate this to get her back out there. Although you never know how desperate they'll be. But yeah, I didn't hear. She must have retired, because she's past the standard retirement age, so she must be out of it. But I remember that when she was deployed to Germany. That was forever ago. Jeez. Yeah, I'm older than she was when she did that. That's depressing. Oh, they're not. Oh, yeah, they do. They could potentially sit flat, right? Like this is like a bag on the what do they call them? Convenience bag on the airplane. The six sack. What do they call them? Yeah, I think it's like convenience bag or something. Oh man. Oh no. Yeah, that would. Oh, that really sucks having that. Yeah, my and my daughter would be too, but unless they unless they really push it. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I remember that for the first Gulf War. Is the talk, of course, always the cable news and stuff right away is talking about what if they institute a draft. And yeah, I was in my early 20s, and it was just like I don't know how I would react to that, especially like being in art school. It's not like I'm gonna get an exemption. Well, his painting is showing real promise. I think he should be exempt. Yeah, and then that was the first time I ever saw directly saw the protest marches and stuff in downtown Chicago. And I heard some stories. Whoa. Later on, that the people that were marching, against the first Gulf War and against the against a draft and whatever else horrible stuff was going on, they got co-opted into a teachers. I think it was a teachers union strike. Maybe it wasn't teachers, but it was downtown. It was in the Loop, and some other group that needed bodies co-opted like part of this peace protest into some labor dispute. And they didn't even know. Like, they just ended up, oh, come with us, over here. This is where we're going. And they siphoned off some some of the people and brought them to some, I don't know if it was like hotel workers or teachers. I forget what it was. But just, yeah, I don't know. That was very depressing. Just using that young energy, or trying to, take advantage of it. I wonder if that happened in the 60s a bunch too. I wonder if the unions at that time were like, we got some hippies over here we can send your way. help you with your meat packers union problems or whatever. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really wonder what the involvement's going to be and why this isn't just a like a UN. I mean, not that that's ever a very effective solution, but why this isn't just a UN thing to show, disagreement with Russia. Probably because Russia's got too many friends now to vote for them. Yeah, it's interesting timing too with the oil pipeline thing. I don't know enough about it to talk very well, but just the fighting between, like, Russia could be supplying a decent amount of energy and could probably use the money, could be supplying a decent amount of energy to Europe. And I think it was Russia and Germany that made some pipeline deal. And America has somehow inserted themselves in that. So, is this the pipeline conflict? But, yeah, so we'll see. Gotta do something. What are we gonna do with all those troops we brought back from Afghanistan? They're just enjoying their lives. Yeah, that's really really strange timing. All right. Yeah. I think it's I think you're right, Germany, because of that deal. And I wonder why America isn't involving itself at all with that. Yeah, I gotta read up on that definitely. But we'll see what this ends up being. And I just don't want to see, I mean, it's not very encouraging or it doesn't comfort me at all to watch Biden mumble through pre-written speeches. So who knows what's going on. Yeah, if you guys have not seen God damn, I can't think of anybody's name on stream. Neil, is it? No, not Neil. Is it Neil? God damn. There's a comedian that does his channel is all face swap kind of impression comedy, and he's been doing Joe Biden recently, and it's really good. Yeah, it's got to be Neil, not Neil Diamond, right? Neil, it's not coming up. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, he started out doing just a bunch of, because I think he's based in LA. Kyle. It's not Neil, it's Kyle. That's right. There we go. Dunnigan. Kyle Dunnigan. Yeah. His Joe Biden is amazing, and he's getting like more and more so he'll just like put on a hat or a wig or something, like a hairpiece or something, and just do a face swap, probably just like processing the video through an iPhone. But his impressions are good enough that you don't notice. But I'll just put his stuff is so good. I'll put his recent Biden in there. I mean, we just need, and I'm glad somebody is actually like, even though it's kind of like elder abuse, that someone's at least poking fun at in an entertaining way, not in some like weird, angry, malicious way. Ah, right. Yeah, I think Russia is. So that's Kyle Dunnigan doing Joe Biden, but Yeah, I think I think Russia is uh oh, that's right. Yeah, he did that on SNL, right? Yeah, Jim Carrey. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's tricky because of kind of the state that the state of the president. That's so depressing. It's a little mean because I think they did stay away because you know how they had those like 80-year-old senators and stuff, and even though they would have been really easy targets for some really mean impressions and comedy and stuff, I don't think it was. They didn't go after them very hard because it does feel a little. God damn. It does feel a little punching down or mean spirited or yeah, whatever you would say. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, what happened to Jim Carrey and comedy? He just got too serious for a while and hasn't done. Although I really liked him in Eternal Sunshine. I was surprised. I haven't been a big fan of him in dramatic roles. But Eternal Sunshine was really good. And I think he was just like cast well for it. All right, I'm gonna stop drawing whatever this is. Now this is like a vacuum cleaner bag. All right. It's the same thing with God, I hate this. I need to be sitting in McDonald's with my like senior citizens discount coffee. Like, who's that guy? The guy that with the thing? I'm looking at his face right now. In my mind, oh come on. He was on SNL. And has a pretty sweet Netflix deal. He did the Grown Ups movies and oh come on, this is killing me. Adam Sandler, Jesus. Sorry. Oh, that's right. That's right. Jim Carrey's painting. Now that's right. I knew that there was like something like in my head. Like he just he moved into something else. That's right. But oh, that's funny. Yeah. So Adam Sandler. I wasn't a big fan of him doing dramatic roles either until I saw Punch Drunk Love. Like he's really perfect in that. That's one of those. It's kind of like the Eternal Sunshine. The casting is just so good. He was able to like figure out what he needed to do in that role, and it worked really well. Yeah, Punch Drunk Love is so disturbing. That apartment, that apartment that he has in that movie. I had like that exact apartment in L.A. Because everybody buys their crappy, cheap ass interior stuff from the same place, obviously. So I had literally the same cabinets, the same vertical blinds, everything that's in that shitty apartment. I like lived in that apartment basically. So that was really depressing because his life is, so bleak. But that whole scene where he's like talking to the phone sex operator and in his apartment, I'm like, God damn, yeah, that's too real. Oh man. Oh yeah, but that's one of those like crazy exceptional roles, and that's good that people can have those. I don't think it wasn't until like later in life like Bill Murray got away with that, because I remember he was trying to do serious stuff when he was still kind of very connected to comedy. He did like Razors. I think that was a deal too. He did like a movie. He agreed to do a movie so he could do a like personal project. And I think Razor's Edge was that? Or no, maybe there was another one before that. But yeah, his early dramatic uh, roles were not great, because he still had that, Caddyshack, Stripes kind of atmosphere. It wasn't until he got older in the what's his face films that yeah, he's had the continuing role in all of the uh, like Life Aquatic and Magnificent. Oh, what? Google is going to be my lifeline. It's so depressing. Yeah, Wes Anderson. It wasn't until he started, with the beard and stuff, started doing the Wes Anderson movies that, and those are still, comedic roles though. They have a weird tone, but it wasn't. And I think he's a good fit for that because, yeah, kind of throws you off. No, I went from Chicago to New York to LA to Japan. I covered it all. Yeah, I was in upstate New York for a while. My ex went to Cornell. So yeah, I went to undergrad in Chicago. My ex went to graduate school at Cornell in Ithaca. And then we moved out to LA. And I've told that heartbreaker of a story. So after she was finished, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do graduate school too, because being stuck in a college town with a bachelor's degree is a fate worse than death. And I couldn't get a job at the university. For some reason, I applied to all the crappy, clerical, filing database jobs and stuff. And everybody else's spouse, I guess, was taking those jobs. So I said, okay, I guess, graduate school, that'll give me some motivation and some connection into some business, into some industry. And so I applied to School of Visual Arts, NYU, Tisch School, their animation department, and CalArts, and got into all three. But NYU was the most exclusive. There were only 3 spots and like 1,000 or so applicants. So I got in one of 3 spots. I'm living in upstate New York. I'm like, this is amazing. This is great. So we start on weekends. I've told this on stream before, but on weekends we're going apartment hunting, and it's fucking brutal apartment hunting in New York. And so we kind of retreat to the boroughs, and we're looking in Brooklyn and find a couple of possibilities. And meanwhile, I'm in contact with the registrar's office, and because they've got resources for finding apartments and stuff. And I had a question, something like specifically about the animation department. So I called the animation department, and they said, "Who are you? What? Why are you? We don't have you. We don't have any record of you. We don't know who you are." And so I brilliantly, I'm in the same state, so what could possibly go wrong? Don't mail my acceptance letter back, signature required or courier, or I forget what it was called at the time. But, I was broke, so I said, I'm not going to pay the, $20 or whatever to send this back, hand delivered. So I just put a stamp on it, put it back in the mail. Same state. What could go wrong? It just disappeared. So they never got it, and they passed the deadline. They just handed my place to the next person. So I'm planning to move to New York and have no reason to be there. So I did also get into the School of the Visual Arts, but by this time I was beyond their deadline. They're like, no, we can't. I mean, we could probably get you into the program, but you've missed all the, financial aid. There's too much stuff you've missed, with your, assuming you're going to NYU. So there's too much stuff that I missed. So I couldn't, I was going to not benefit from much. And we still weren't really comfortable about being able to afford or find a decent place. In New York, it was still looking a little dicey, and my younger brother, was headed to LA to go to Loyola for film school. And